So let's go to that 100 kilometre race before the 30 marathons, because that's fascinating. When you signed up to that after your mates put it on his story, was the furthest you've ran up to that 42k? Or
No,
you did a
I'd
bit
done
further?
100 before.
100. And how long did you... Well, what was that one, firstly?
So before we went travelling, I think I ran the Ballarat Marathon in April. We were going travelling in June. April, March, May. And I just said to myself, I want to run 100k before we go away. So just like one random Sunday, I think it was, I didn't train specifically for it. I just said, it was a week out from it. It was like 2 days before we were going travelling. And I just said, this Saturday I'm running 100k through Geelong. And it got to the Friday and we were at work, and I remember I was crook, and it was the middle of winter, and I was on the top of the roof in Tullamarine we were building, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm sick right now and I don't know, I want to run this 100k this week. Went home from work that day sick, went straight to the doctors. They're like, yeah, you got tonsillitis.
Oh.
I was like, oh no. Went there, so they gave me antibiotics. I'm on Google, like, what antibiotics do to you. Where they're like, everything's saying when you run with them, like, increases your perceived effort. So it's going to take a lot more effort to do a lot less than what you usually.
Right.
And I just said to myself, I'm not taking them. I'm gonna trust that my body heals itself, do everything right. I was really into my food and my nutrition, so I just did everything naturally. And on the Saturday, I couldn't run it, and I just said, you know what, on the Sunday I'm going to do it. So I woke up on the Sunday, and I ran the 100Ks. At about 18Ks in, I thought I was cooked. I wanted to do it in under 5 minute pace.
100 Ks in that pace.
So every 20 Ks I'd stop the watch to refuel.
Yep.
And I ended up doing it. So I think I got I did it in 4:58, something like that. Obviously with the stop. So if you check my elapsed time, it would be longer.
Yeah.
But that was the hardest thing I'd ever done at the time.
How long? Well, can you do the math on that?
It's it was just over 8. It's 8.5 hours or something.
Wow. So then we go to the Blue Mountains 100K, which is, I'm assuming, up these trails and down these trails and all sorts. Which you said 4,000. What was the elevation?
4,500 meters.
Wow. So, and how long did that take you?
That took me 13 hours and 33 minutes.
So you start, I'm assuming, early morning.
Start maybe 7, or you start before sunrise. So the idea is, I got put in the elite group because I had a really fast marathon time that I ran this year.
Yep.
So I rocked up and I was in the first group with the people that are
they go straight away.
The winner runs 9 hours, which is
up that.
Yeah, it's unfathomably quick. And I was 3 weeks prior, I was pacing the Ballarat Marathon 3-hour group, and I DNF'd, so I pulled out at 27Ks because I was having heaps of health issues. Yep. Found out I had glandular fever. Didn't train for from the moment Ballarat Marathon finished until UTA started. Didn't train. Looked up if I could get out of the race. Couldn't postpone my race. Couldn't sell my ticket. Didn't tell anyone I was going through all this stuff. Just manifested, did a whole lot of meditation, prayer. I'm I need to get to the start line of this. And I did. And sub 14 hours is a silver buckle. That's what all the quicker people are trying to go for.
Yeah.
So the winner gets a gold buckle. Anything under 14 hours, you get a silver. And then I think it's anything under 24 or something might be a bronze. And
silver buckle for you.
Got a silver buckle, so
wow.
I was stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I mean, when you're running through that that length at that time, do you get to take in the scenery, or you? Because it would be hard to appreciate it in that pain. But the Blue Mountains is a beautiful area.
Unreal. So it was the first time I'd been there, and I remember we took off. The idea, before what I was saying, the idea is you take off before sunrise in the first group, and you get to see the sun come up, and you look like you're just on top of the world because you're above the clouds.
Yeah.
And so the first 10Ks maybe, I was like, this is unbelievable. I can't believe all of this. And then the rest of it was just I was locked in. So, no, I didn't enjoy the scenery until I think 80K in. I thought I wasn't going to reach my goal. So I got to the 80k point, and my crew were there, and they have a predicted time for you finishing. And I said to them, like, oh, what's my predicted time? And they said, like, 14 hours and 40 minutes or something. 14 hours and 50 minutes. And I knew I was like, 50 minutes is too much to make up over the next 20k. So I'm just going to enjoy it. And then when I left that aid station, the sun was setting, and it was like one of the only videos I took the whole time.
Wow!
And I was like, "This is unbelievable." It was me and one other dude watching the sunset, and I was like, "I'm just going to enjoy the rest of these 20Ks. I'm not going to be racing anymore because I knew I couldn't get the silver buckle." Like 5 minutes later, this other guy comes running up behind me, and he said he'd run the course a few times before, and I said, "Is it possible to finish this?" I think we had like 3.5 hours left to get the silver buckle. I said, "Is it possible?" And he just said to me, I remember him saying to me, he said, "Mate, if we run all these downhills, run as many flats as we can, then just grit our teeth, climb the uphills with everything we got." He's like, "Mate, we're going to fucking do it." And I was like, "Are you serious?"
There's a chance.
Yeah, I'm like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah, mate, we'll get that silver buckle."
Yeah.
And my mood just went through the roof. I was that G'd up. And I was like, bro, I could picture it straight away in my mind, me and this guy running through the finish line together, dabbing each other up in under 14 hours. And from then on, I just took off. I was with him for about 4 minutes, and I just ran, took off on him, and I pretty much...
Well, you pipped him.
Gave it everything I had for the next 2 hours, and I wiped like an hour and 5 minutes off my predicted time in the last 20Ks. And I remember it was the best moment of my life.
I'm assuming that was the hardest part in the run, or was it kind of mentally you kind of the pain went away?
I think the pain went away because I was so G'd up.
Wow.
There were some chemicals being released in my brain that...
Did the bloke...
I didn't see him again.
Oh.
I
wonder if he got a silver...
I don't know.
Fuck him.
He said to me, he's like, "Oh, my knee's playing up." And I just remember thinking, as soon as he G'd me up, nothing hurt.
Yep.
I was legging it.
Wow, that's cool as. So now, well, that's the Blue Mountains. Now we go to the... I think we were talking about the 30 marathon, 30 days. I forgot what we were up to, but that was a good story. Now,